Hey everybody, how you guys doing? This is Dr. Carmen Bright and this is Court Chronicles. You guys ready? Well, let's do this. I know I haven't seen you guys, like in a week or two? Well, the week prior, I was in the Cascade Mountains over here in Washington State. Then this weekend, we had a conference, so I've been tired, boss. T-I-E-D. I've been tired with bleach. Y'all ready? All right, well, listen. You guys know that as a content creator, I do a lot of videos, like other people. I do a lot of videos on talking about the problem. We talk about narcissist abuse, and a lot of you have been following me for a few years. And we talk about the one thing that I want to make certain is that I want to override the lies with truth. Overriding lies with truth oftentimes make people feel uncomfortable because as a survivor or as a victim, you are stuck sometimes in a denial process. And it's hard to believe that somebody that you really love can do so much damage or have so much hatred in their heart. And so I spend a lot of time, like many other content creators, spend a lot of time, overriding lies with truth, giving you the truth about the situation, giving you the truth about these narcissists, how they function, how they think, how they operate, the things that they do, not to normalize the behavior, because we can't normalize an abnormal behavior, but to normalize your thought process, to know that you're not the one that's crazy, and that what you are experiencing and what you are witnessing is true. There is something really wrong. I don't care who doesn't believe you. I myself am a survivor, as many of you guys are. So I know firsthand, like many of you do, what it is to be in a narcissistic relationship. Not just one, but a lot of them. It's just the last one that I was in was over 22 years of narcissist abuse, but like many of you, to be stuck in denial. You cannot believe that someone can be that cruel and that evil. And hope is the last thing to go. And you're trying to find, what is it? You're trying to figure them out. You're trying to find, and it's hard oftentimes to just believe the fact that that person can be that evil. They have no empathy. They don't have the capacity to love you the way that you love them. And oftentimes people walk around, and I'm not talking about those with NPD, but people walk around with rose-colored glasses, and you're looking at the narcissist as if they are a normal person. It is called abnormal psychology. So they are not normal people, but you're trying to figure them out. You're trying to come up with answers, and you're looking at them and you are projecting your good traits, your thought processes on them. And what you hear yourself saying is, but I would never do something like that. And I just can't understand how can a person be like that. That's because of the fact that you've never had a personality disorder. And so you cannot fathom because you have never had, and you have to stop comparing them to yourself. And you have to break the denial process. Now, for a lot of you who have followed me for many years, we've been talking about the problem. Those of you that are new on my channel, don't worry. I'm not going to stop putting out the content because a lot of you are having to unwind. It's like unwinding this tight rope that is tied around your body and constricting you, like a boa constrictor or a python, and for those of you that have been here for a while, we have to start talking about solutions to the problem. And one of the solutions, well, let's talk about this part. Many of you are ready to get this over with and move on into new relationships, but many of you guys are not ready for a new relationship. And just this weekend, my sister had her conference as the indelible woman. Honey, you are an indelible woman. Is it je ne sais quoi? Go look the word up, je ne sais quoi. But you are an indelible woman. Some of you are indelible men, je ne sais quoi. But in order to move forward, you have to admit to some of your own faults, the way that you think, the way that you act, the desperation in wanting to be in a relationship, which lands you in a situationship. Sometimes you have to do, not sometimes, you have to do the work on yourself. And even though someone else has caused this pain and atrocity, you've come from homes that were abusive. You come from parents that were narcissistic. You were in situationships with narcissists. You have to demagnetize yourself. And to demagnetize yourself is also to recognize, why do I want to be in a relationship? Well, some of you are saying, well, Dr. B, I don't want to be lonely. Okay, loneliness is not an excuse to jump into a relationship. Because if you're lonely already, a person cannot fill those lonely places. Well, I want to be loved. Well, you got to love yourself first. Because if you don't love yourself first, you're going to draw a predator to you. A bleeding wound will attract flies, diseases, and staph infections. So you have to first work with your own heart. Do you know how many professionals we have out here that you can tap into to help yourself? Do you know a cosmetologist understands hair health? But they will also tell you when you're stressing and when you have been through trauma, your hair is thinning, your hair is falling out, they'll help you with a regime to get that luscious look back. Or like me, just throw on a wig and going about your business. But you have estheticians that would tell you about, the stress hormones in your body. I didn't even know, my daughter's an esthetician. I didn't even know that, like, when you break out on your chin, that's because of hormonal changes and stress. I didn't know that. And they can tell you a lot about your skin. Go to a nutritionist. A nutritionist will help you, to change your eating habits. Some of you have overate or underate, and they'll help you change your eating habits. There's a doctor by the name of Dr. Living Good that also helps you to heal yourself from the inside out. The nutrition. You need to go to a doctor to have blood panels done to see if you don't have enough iron in your system, if there's vitamin deficiencies. You need to see if there's vitamin deficiencies. Some of you guys are so stressed out, your cortisol level is sky high, so you're walking around like you 9 months pregnant. And you can't have no more kids. Some of you are having gastrointestinal problems. You're having infertility issues. Some men, some of you, your testosterone is low. And so you're having major depression symptoms. And really what it is, your testosterone is too low and you need testosterone treatment. Some ladies, or men too, you're walking around with major depressive symptoms and you have a thyroid issue. You need to get your thyroid checked. Hypo or hyperthyroid issues. There's all sorts of stuff. A reflexologist, get your feet massaged. Go get a massage to get the toxins out of your system. You got toxin buildup, so your muscles, have all that, what is it called? We should talk about it in the military, but all that acid in your muscles, that you need to get out of your muscles. Some of you don't drink enough water. Some of you don't drink nothing but sodas. Your eating habits are awful. But it's time to come up with a solution to the problem. And sometimes you have to come out you can talk about the problem all day long. You can watch video after video after video. And yes, it is somebody who has tormented you and traumatized you. And now you have to do the work. You can't go to a therapist and get mad. I'm coming here because I need you to fix me. You got to fix you. If you stink, I say this example all the time. If you stink and there's 7 days in a week and I give you telling me you stink. And I'll say, okay, out of the 7 days, pick a day in the middle. 1 day in the middle, and I'm going to give you a washcloth. I'm going to give you a towel. I'm going to give you a change of clothes, and I'm going to give you a bar of soap and a place to take a shower. You come back after those 7 days, and you tell me it didn't work. And I ask you, well, did you take a shower? No, I didn't have the energy to do it. Okay? You have to will yourself to do it. You have to make yourself get in that shower in the middle of the week. So at least you won't stink for the other few days. At least it won't be as bad. But you have to find a way to get in that shower. You can't come back and tell me it didn't work and I don't like you as a therapist. This is not working. Therapy, coaching, those are tools. That's just like bariatric surgery. They'll tell you, we'll do the surgery. It's a tool to help you. But you have to change your eating habits. That's why you go to therapy, you go to counseling, you go to support groups, you go to nutritionists, a bariatric specialist, you go to a mental health professional so they can do a psychological evaluation to find out if you've been traumatized. If you're eating and it become a coping mechanism, you need to get some therapy. I know it's a lot of information. You got to get some therapy. But all these things you have to do before they give you bariatric surgery. Now, you get bariatric surgery. It is a tool to assist you with losing weight. But forever in your life, you have now had a change of the way that you can and will eat. You have to take vitamins for the rest of your life because your body does not absorb nutrients like it used to. So you have to make a change. Who makes the change? You make the change. It's not the bariatric surgeon's responsibility to make sure that you lose the weight. They've done the job. It's your responsibility now. So it's your responsibility to get the mental health services, especially if you start gaining the weight back, right? Well, that's the same thing when it comes to narcissist abuse. We could talk about it all day long, but what are you putting in place to protect yourself so that it won't ever happen again? What are you doing to put things in place so that you are a healthy person, so that when you meet another person, you are two healthy people getting in a relationship, and you can pick up if you are being abused again? Tune in and make sure you register for my conference. These are the things that I'm going to be talking about.